Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my jungle. How are you? Thank you all so much for being here. My name is Sam. To anyone who might be new here, I really hope you decide to stick around. So, sorry it's so bright behind me, guys. We're not going to be here long. Today's video is actually going to be kind of like a little tour. I decided I wanted to show you guys around in my plant room because I haven't done that in a while. I haven't done a tour in a really long time because we're just so crowded. But I took a poll a few weeks ago and most of you guys had voted that you would like to see a tour before we move, even if it's cramped up. So, you know, I've already showed you like my philodendron collection. I've showed you my Hoya collection. So you've seen those up close and personal, but I actually have this one plant stand shelving unit in particular that doesn't get paid much mind. You guys really never see the plants that live on it, and it's this one right behind me. So I thought today I could take you guys around and show you what all I have going on this shelf. There's like this variety mashup of all different types of plants, from cacti to succulents, just everything. It's like I have a couple shelves that's mostly cacti and succulents, but I also have some foliage plants. I have some cool stuff. I have some begonias on the bottom shelves. So I'm going to show you this, and then in another video I'll show you my giant rack. So we'll get around to everything eventually. So if this is something that you'd be interested in seeing, then stick around and we're going to get right into it. Before we get into the plants themselves, I wanted to show you guys the humidifier that I have been using. This is my new one. I've been using it for probably about a month now. This is Elechomes. This is their newest model. So this is the SH8830. I haven't seen many people using these yet. I think they actually just came out this year. This was sent to me from Elechomes to review and give my opinion on. I really wanted to use this humidifier for at least a couple of weeks before I made a review, so that's why, you know, I haven't really mentioned it yet. I was using the lIQWID humidifier before this, and I still have that on the other side of my room with my Hoyas, but this is now my main humidifier. This unit actually features a 6.5 liter tank. This unit here is also top fill, which is something that I love. I really like my lIQWID humidifier. It's a great choice to go with, but the Elechomes offers a top fill and the largest tank capacity. So for that reason, this is why I've switched this humidifier in particular to my main one. It's worth checking into, guys. I really like it. If we look here, you can see it has a timer, auto mode. It has a child lock, which is really nice. My kids are locked out of my plant room, so they don't get near it, but that is a really nice feature for parents. Let's see, we have the maximum minimum mist. Right now it's on number 1, which is the lowest misting option. Now it's on 2, which is the middle. And now we are on the highest misting level. If we look here, you can actually set the humidity, and the humidifier will kick on and off once it reaches that percentage. And then here we have the heating option, which is what I use for my plants. They absolutely love the heated humidity, so that is what I use. Sometimes, you know, I only put it on 1, sometimes I put it on 2, and then when I'm feeling crazy, I put it on the highest setting, which is 3. Down here we have a sleep button. Oh, another cool thing, this actually comes in black as well, so you can do white or black option. I will leave this humidifier linked below if you guys are interested in going and checking it out for yourself. A little disclaimer, I didn't clean up for you guys at all, so the shelves are pretty dirty. They really need cleaned. I have some begonias down here, this one in particular, that's blooming like crazy and dropping blooms everywhere at all times, so do look over the mess. Also, the windowsill, it's bad, okay, it's bad. This is the plant stand and shelves that we're going to be going over today. So we're going to start on the top. As you will see, I am not very familiar with succulent names. So if I don't know the names of the succulent and cacti, I do apologize. I guess we'll start with my avocado tree. So this is my avocado tree that I grew from seed back in July of 2019. So he is just over a year old. I'm so proud of this plant, guys. It seems like he's always putting off new leaves. His new leaves come in this really pretty purple red color, and yeah, I just love this guy. He's one of my favorites. Beside him, we have my giant aloe plant. This is the very first plant that I ever purchased. So this is the plant that literally started it all. This is Big Al. I got this at Lowe's for like $2 or $3 in a teeny little pot, and he has just went insanely wild. He has a bunch of babies coming in everywhere in his pot. He really needs up potted pretty badly. I love this guy. I plan on having him forever. You know, it's bittersweet because he was my very, very first. Beside him, we have my ZZ Raven, which is doing really well, growing really good. Then we have this guy, which I just got a few weeks back. This is a Sansevieria of some sort, and it reminds me of the Wellfin. It has these really fat leaves and this really pretty design on them, so that's what really drew me to this plant. Here we have my Scindapsus exotica from my friend Sarah that I love so much. She's doing real good. Last but not least, we have my variegated lipstick plant, which I actually just brought in from living outside all spring and summer. This plant did lose most of its variegation living outside. I think it was just getting too much intense bright light, but that's okay. We'll see how she does. So let's go ahead and move down to the second shelf. So I guess we'll start here. This is my little Peperomia Piccolo Banda that my friend Sarah also sent me. You're going to see a lot of plants that I say are from Sarah. This is just, it's so cute. I'm not really big on the Ripple Peperomias at the moment just because they're a little bit too thirsty for me to be able to keep up with. I do have a few, but this one here I really wanted, and Sarah found it in a nursery and sent it to me. I love the tiny little dainty leaves as well as the colors on the leaves. I just think it's so adorable. Next to him we have my little Scindapsus Tribii Moonlight, and this is actually a plant that I had purchased from the UK. It was right when all this COVID stuff first started, so this guy ended up being in the mail for 7 weeks. Yeah, when he arrived it was basically a pile of dead leaves, which was so sad, but believe it or not, there was one stem that had one green leaf on it, and it was this leaf, and it was a new leaf that had just unfurled in shipping. It was still green, the roots were healthy, so I potted it up, and lo and behold, it's growing and it's doing really, really well. So it shot off this leaf, and then it shot off this leaf most recently. I love it so much. I've wanted this plant so bad for so long, so I'm just really excited that I was able to save a piece of it, and it's growing, so that's just super cool. The Scindapsus are definitely very, very resilient, something that I have learned. Besides that guy, we have this adorable little Philodendron Rio from my friend Alex at Beantown Houseplants. She sent me this in a plant swap, and it rooted up real nice. It has a new growth point coming in right there, so that's really exciting. Here we have some type of little blue cactus. I think it's like a blue candle cactus or something. I could be wrong. This was also sent from Sarah, and I just love it so much. I love any type of blue cacti. Let's go ahead and move over here. So this is my donkey's tail. I'll try to find a picture and insert of when I got this plant. It wasn't even trailing out of the tiny little pot that it was in. And it's done so well. It's growing so good. So I potted this guy up in this really adorable little llama planter. I mean, I know a donkey and a llama, they're nothing alike, but it's fine. I thought it was cute. And yeah, he's growing like crazy. This is a northwest facing window, and it gets some really, really good direct evening sun, especially in the fall. Most of the plants on these shelves are cacti and succulents, so they're definitely enjoying all of that bright light that they get. Here we have my smallest string of pearls. I do have a 6 or 8 inch basket that's trailing pretty good, but I've had this for quite a while, and it's finally trailing, doing really well. I basically just leave her alone. I don't mess with her. I water these plants maybe like once a month, and that's it. Okay, let's go ahead and come to this end so we can see a little bit better. So this is a Ripsalis. This is my first and only Ripsalis. I'm really into these plants. I'm really wanting to get more, but I have really struggled with this, guys. One side of the pot has completely died. The other side is growing like crazy. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, the side that's facing the grow light is pretty happy, pretty healthy, growing really well. The other side has just completely died away. So, I mean, I guess it's fine. I guess it's going to be all right. It's really cool. I love how this one vine here is turning red. Yes, so cute. This is another type of little succulent. I think it's a Kaale or something like that. It was in bloom all spring and summer. It looks kind of extraterrestrial, and you know, I'm really into that. So he's cool. Here we have something else from my dear friend Sarah. She heard me say I was looking for some dogtail cactus, so she sent me some cuttings of hers back in the spring, and they've rooted up really nicely and have really taken off. We have tons of little babies coming in everywhere. I just love this cactus. I think it's so cool looking. I love how it's also hairy. It's turning red from all the sun and the grow light. Yeah, really, really cool one. Here we have a dead Sansevieria cylindrica that I've murdered, so we're just gonna act like that's not there. Here we have another type of cactus. There's two little babies in here. They've really grown a lot too. I've actually had this for a while, believe it or not. They were like this tall whenever I got them, and they're getting so much light that the little spines on them are turning red. That's happening with a lot of the plants in this window, you will see. So here we have a little chrysala. I think it's called chrysala, some type of little succulent that's growing really, really funky and crazy. It looks like some broken fingers or something. I don't know. He's tangled in with a bunch of other plants, but yeah, it's a cool little plant. This is my Peperomia Hope. I love her. Her leaves are quite bleached from all of the direct sun that she gets, but that's all right. She's still beautiful. She is trailing really nicely. I really like this peperomia because it is more succulent-like. I love the round succulent leaves, and it also has a really cool pattern on them, but obviously it has faded due to all the sunlight she's getting. Still love her. Back here we have this really, really strange creature. This thing freaks me the heck out. I was not expecting this cactus to put off something that looked like a small furry animal whenever I brought it home, but it did. It's just gotten through blooming. Obviously it's dying off now, so it was a lot thicker and more creepy. But yeah, I don't touch this at all. It totally creeps me out. I don't like it. So I'm just kind of patiently waiting for it to finish dying so Jason can remove it. Here we have some type of little aloe plant that I've had forever. He's growing really funky too. He's growing towards the light. I think it's like a blue star aloe or something like that. I could be totally wrong. Who knows? This is my jade plant. This plant has been through heck and back numerous times. I've almost killed it several times, and it just continues to come back for me. So I would say she's definitely a trooper. She's doing really well now. I need to rotate her, as we can see. There's some type of little succulent that I don't really care that much about, but you know, it lives here, so we'll mention it. Here's my really adorable string of turtles. This has also grown so much. Oh, look, he's blooming. He's pretty much always blooming though. Most all of my peperomias are, except for my Hope. I don't think it's ever bloomed for me. Yeah, this is getting a lot of light as well, so you know, we have some bleached leaves, but the new leaves are the cutest things ever. They definitely have that adorable turtle shell design on them, and I'm here for it. So I'm gonna pull these out. So I was sent some really, really awesome succulents and Sansevieria from this succulent shop in Indonesia. It's called Succulentasia. I did an unboxing and review when I unboxed these babies, but I really wasn't that into Sansevieria or succulents until I got these plants, until I discovered how many truly awesome varieties of succulents that there really are, and snake plants as well. I'm really, really getting into snake plants now, but these are 3 of the little snake plants that they sent me, and I just love them so much. I think they look absolutely adorable potted together in this terracotta. This one here is probably my favorite out of the 3 of them. Look at that variegation. He is a thick boy for sure. Love it. And they all have new growth coming in, so that's really exciting as well. Here we have another really cute little cactus just chilling. Don't know the name of him either, but it's fine. And then randomly, boom, we have a pothos. So this is my neon pothos that's actually pushing out some leaves with a little bit of variegation on them, which I think is really pretty. I struggled with this pothos, believe it or not, for the longest time, and it didn't grow at all for like the first year, year and a half maybe. Didn't grow at all, actually just continued to lose leaves, and I gave it more light, and now it's doing really well. So I've actually found that the neon pothos prefers a lot more light than like your standard golden pothos, so something to note. Here we have my really cute little silver dollar vine. I love him. He is adorable. I love how wonky and crazy he is. Obviously he's growing to the side instead of straight up, but that's okay. I still love him. His little round leaves are just the cutest. He's so chubby, and yeah, he is just one of my favorite succulents for sure. This is my little Hoya Matilde cutting that I got a couple months back, and it's rooted, guys. I tried to pull it out of the moss, and yeah, it's actually rooted. I do believe I see some signs of new growth right there in the middle between those two leaves. So hopefully one day this will be an actual plant, but yeah, it's doing good. That is it for the second shelf. So we're gonna go ahead and move down to the third. All right, lots of different crazy things going on this shelf. Such a variety. Okay, let's start with this babe, and this is my rickrack cactus. Oh my god, I love this plant, guys. I love this plant. This is another variety of jungle cacti, and it's just so cool. It has seriously grown so much. Jason actually brought this home for me, I think it was last year, whenever he was working in Ohio. They had a plant shop out there right by his job site that I loved, and he stopped by when he finished up that job and picked up a couple plants for me, and this was one of them. I had been really wanting one of these. He talked to the workers and figured out what it was and brought it home to me. It's grown so much. There was a few leaves in the pot, probably about this size, some maybe a little bit taller like this, but it was really small whenever I got it, and it's getting direct sun, so it has just shot off all of these new stems, leaves. What are they? Yeah, it shot off tons and tons, and it just continues to do so. This one's really cool because the stems come in really skinny and slim like this, and then over time they get thicker like this and this. It's so cool. I love it. The new growth is coming in kind of a pinkish orange, and it's the cutest thing. All right, swinging around to this side, I'm gonna pull this girl out. Ah, this is my booby cactus, y'all. I love her so much. Look at those boobies. We have some perky ones here up around the top, and then they get a little bit saggy down towards the bottom, but we love all the boobies equally. This is just like a giant specimen of a cactus. I really couldn't believe whenever I got this in the mail and unboxed it how large she was, but she's grown even more since then. So all of this growth we see here on top is new growth. So exciting. My phone is not wanting to focus, but yeah, this is my booby cactus. I love her so much, y'all. You don't even understand. This is another awesome plant that was sent to me from Succulentasia, and this is my well-finned Sansevieria. Look at that leaf. This is gorgeous. I have wanted the Wells fin forever, and whenever I opened this, I just couldn't believe it. They sent me a variegated well fin. Granted, it's pretty small, but I just love it so much. The variegation on this is beautiful. Really appreciate the chubby leaf and how wide it is. One thing I have noticed is this was really dehydrated whenever I received it, so the leaf was completely curled, the edges were almost touching, and it's taken me quite a while to rehydrate him and get the leaf to really open up. Yeah, I really love this guy, and he's only made me want more. I want more variegated wellfin, I want the regular wellfin, I want them all. Probably going to be seeing several plant hauls of Sansevieria in the future. We just have a little tiny baby pilea that I cannot water enough. So, you know, but she's doing fine. This is some type of Kaale. It's growing pretty crazy. Look at all of those aerial roots. This is a succulent that's actually very thirsty. It needs watered much more than my other succulents, and that is why I assume he's shooting out all of these aerial roots and losing so many leaves around the bottom of the stems, but he's still growing, so I guess he's fine. Here we have some type of little variegated euphorbia that I cannot remember the name of. There was actually 2 of these in this pot at one time, and the baby one died. The corpse is still laying in the pot beside the mama. That is so sad, but yeah, it happens, okay? This is my oxalis plant, purple shamrock. It's the variety that has two different colors of purple instead of the all purple. This actually goes dormant every now and then, usually around, the end of fall, beginning of winter. It will lose all of its leaves, and I just continue to water the bulbs, not as much as I normally would. I let it dry out for maybe a month, and then I start watering again, and it always comes back every spring. Yeah, it's really pretty. These leaves open and close at nighttime. Very cool. She actually is usually in bloom all spring and summer as well. She has really dainty, cute purple little blooms. This is another plant from Succulentation. This is some type of variegated succulent. This is the only one that really struggled, so it ended up getting root rot and lost its roots, and I've just kind of have it setting on top of the soil now, trying to reroot it. It's really pretty though. I really love the variegation in this one. This is my peanut cactus. This has grown like crazy too, y'all. When I got this, it wasn't even spilling out of the pot yet, and now it really needs to be hanging because little peanuts are touching the shelf. So it'd probably be a lot happier if I picked it up and like hung it, so I'll probably end up doing that once we get moved. This is my goldfish plant, and he was blooming. He's been blooming pretty consistently all summer. I'm not sure if he has any blooms. Well, yeah, I see one bloom right there that looks like it's dying. Please ignore the dirty windowsill. Yuck. I have to have Jason help me pull this stand out and clean all that up because it's really gross, guys. I'm sorry. Here we have my really pretty little Scindapsus pictus Silvery Ann. Oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. This is Scindapsus pictus Silvery Ann. Look at these leaves down here. It's so beautiful. Another thirsty girl. This was a cutting sent to me from Sarah. Again, we've done a couple swaps, y'all, and she sent me so many amazing things. I love it. I struggled with it at first a little bit. It wasn't doing so hot, but now it's doing really well. I switched it from terracotta to a nursery pot. It seems to be doing a lot better. It's put off several new leaves, so I'm really happy with this babe. Here's another bluish type of cactus that I love. It's so cute. Here's one of my pileas. Some days she's happy, some days she's not. You just honestly never know with this one. I do have another larger one who's doing really well, and the leaves on her are massive, so I'll have to show her to you guys soon. But and the other one has tons and tons of babies in the pot as well. This one's finally pushed out a couple little babies, but it's not doing so hot if we're being honest. And then here's my little sad watermelon peperomia. I grew this from a leaf propagation about 1.5 years ago, and this thing is just never happy. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's doing well and it's putting off new growth, and then other times it's just dying. So it pretty much just looks the same all the time. I do have a fuller, better looking watermelon peperomia over in my Hoya window, but yeah, this one's just, it's just existing right now. This is another type of Sansevieria of some sorts. It's really cute. It has really cute silver patterning on the leaves. And then at the very back we have another type of little succulent just hanging out. Forgot one. This was one of my most favorite things that they sent me, and it's a variegated Echinopsis, and it's a baby, clearly a little tiny baby, but really exciting because the baby is pushing out another baby. Look at that cutie. Oh my gosh, when I seen that, guys, I got so excited, and he looks like he's going to be completely yellow. He may end up with some green on him once he really pushes up out of the soil, but I just think it's the cutest thing ever and so exciting. I cannot wait to see that little baby. This, oh, I love this so much, y'all. This is a new plant. This is Sansevieria silver blue, and I think it's a crooked eye variety, but it is just so gorgeous. I just got this maybe last week, I think, a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago now, and it's absolutely beautiful. I love the pattern on the leaves. I love the growth habit, and I also love that red rimming around the leaves. It's just so beautiful, and the leaves are like ruffled around the edges, so that is really cool. I got this on Etsy from a shop called Traveling Roots, and I love him. He is really cool. I keep forgetting plants. How is this happening? This is my Dieffenbachia reflector. I grew this from a teeny little plug, guys. It didn't even have that reflective pattern on the leaves yet. It actually looked kind of like this whenever I got it. He's just grown so much. I'm not a huge Dieffenbachia fan, but I really, really love this one. He's pushed up, I think there's 3 different babies in the pot that he's pushed out, so very cool. Begonias. This is my begonia Sinbad, and she needs repotted very, very bad. She's my little mess maker. She is the reason I have begonia blooms constantly everywhere. She's always dropping them on the floor and on this bottom shelf down here. She makes a mess all the time, but I absolutely love this begonia, guys. Such a fast grower, such a beautiful angel wing variety. The new leaves are so freaking cute. It does have very faint speckling, like the very, very tiny polka dots, and they actually if given enough light, they actually come in a very pale pastel pink, and then they kind of fade to this white color. So pretty. But she needs repotted desperately. If we look down here, she's in a little 6-inch pot. She has more vines growing all the way up into the windowsill. Yeah, I've actually been waiting to repot her and a few of my other begonias because I want to do a repot with me video when I pot these guys up. Beside her, we have the lovely begonia Medora. I love this plant. It was completely green whenever I got it, and it gets so much light now that the leaves have turned pink, and I just think that she's the cutest thing. Back there we have my little Peperomia Frost. So it's the silver Peperomia Ripple. Basically, I grew that from a single leaf cutting and rooted it, and very thirsty plant, so we have lots of yellow leaves most of the time, as with most of my ripples, but you know, she's doing fine. This is just an anthurium chunk, basically, Anthurium clarinervium. I'm just trying to grow it back, but the chunk really isn't that healthy, so I don't really think it's going to be successful, but I had to give it a go. It's kind of hard to see, but this is Begonia My Special Angel, and this girl has really been through it, you guys. She was a lot larger, but she suffered from powdery mildew so many times, and she finally recovered from that and was growing back so nice. And then I found scale on her and another one of my begonias, so I ended up chopping her. The cuttings from her are right here. They have rooted up very, very well. So I'm going to be potting these cuttings back into the pot whenever I do the repotting video. But yeah, these are her babies. This is Begonia Dark Mamba. Yes, she also desperately needs repotted. As we can see, there's just tons of new growth coming in, and it's very, very crowded in the pot. So she's drying out very fast, and she doesn't like that too much. But this is a really beautiful dark-leafed begonia. It's a goth plant for sure. In some lighting, the leaves look like a very dark purple, and then in other lighting, they look black almost. So it's really, really cool. The new growth does have that lime green streaking through the leaves, so it's just really cool. And look over here, look how red that looks. Isn't that beautiful? And then that green center, it's just incredible. So I think she will be a lot happier and grow a lot prettier whenever I uppot her. But yeah, I just love her. I got her from Steve's Leaves, actually. Back here's another thirsty ripple peperomia. This is the burgundy. Yeah, constantly wilting and dropping leaves because I just can't keep up with the watering. Here we have my gorgeous Monstera Standeliana variegata, doing really well. This was from Green Spaces. Look at that leaf, isn't that so pretty? Oh, and this one too, look at that. I love that sectorial variegation so much. We have a new leaf coming in right there. It seems to be a pretty fast grower so far, so that is exciting. One thing I have noticed with this Monstera in particular is it is very thirsty as well. So if I let him dry out too much, I will get a yellow leaf down in the base of the pot. So I definitely try to keep up with my watering because I don't want to lose those beautiful leaves. Okay guys, so in this bag we actually have my Philodendron varicosum that I got in a swap a few weeks ago from my friend Carolina, and it had one leaf which was damaged. It ended up being in shipping for longer than expected, and that leaf was completely crispy and had fallen off. We do have a new leaf coming in right here. How exciting. I cannot wait to see what it's going to look like. So I just have her in this little glass vessel in moss rooting. I haven't checked to see if she has roots yet. I don't want to disturb her. But yeah, pushing out a new leaf. I'll definitely keep y'all updated when she puts out that leaf. I cannot wait to see it. It might be a little bit, you know, funky because of shipping and everything, but regardless, I will still be just as happy when she pushes it out. So exciting, y'all. Let's move on down to the 5th and final shelf. Let's turn off this grow light so we can maybe see a little bit better. So we have, again, a lot of different stuff going on down here. I guess we can start with this, and this is my Peperomia incana. This is a felted furry leaf peperomia. I absolutely love it. Now, I have seen the leaves on these peperomias get massive, and that's kind of what I'm hoping for. I have it living underneath the grow light with hopes that it will produce larger leaves. So far it hasn't. It's still putting off these teeny ones, so I may end up moving this to my Hoya shelf where it gets direct southern light. I'm not sure yet, but it's doing well regardless. It's lost several leaves along the bottom, but that's fine. It's just really interesting. I love round leaves and I love furry leaves, so this is right up my alley. Something I just really love about peperomias, there's just so many different varieties. Look at that, it looks like a little heart. So many different varieties and textures and colors, and there's just so much to choose from when it comes to peperomias. This is my vanilla orchid vine cuttings from Alex at Beantown Houseplants, and it does have some roots. Oh, there's a nice root right there, aerial root. But it does have some nice roots, so I need to go ahead and get her potted up. This is a really cool plant, guys. I really, really want the variegated vanilla orchid vine. Those are gorgeous. I'm really liking this plant, and I can't wait to get her potted up. Okay, guys, this is just a whole mess. A whole mess. Y'all would have seen me unbox this a month or two ago. This is Rhaphidophora Hayi. And I can't even lie to y'all, obviously I am struggling with this plant. So it was shipped to me in a pot. It was mounted on a plank of wood, but it was in a pot. The roots were in soil. And when I pulled it out, the roots were all rotted away. So it had no healthy roots left. So I had to put it on a larger plank of wood because it had outgrown the wood that it was on. So I just put it on moss and kind of twined it to this wood. It looks super tacky, I know. But this is all I had to work with, and yeah, I don't really know what to do. If anyone has any advice, please help me, because I just keep getting yellow leaves like this, and I think it's gonna die. I missed it. I soak it. I do let the moss dry out, probably a little bit too much. I think that's the issue, but I'm afraid of rotting it because it already had issues with rot, whenever I received it. So I just really am at a loss, and I don't know what to do with this plant. Any advice is greatly appreciated. This is a little pot of peperomia. So little lime green peperomia, I believe, is a Rana Verde. This was sent to me from Sarah in our first swap. She sent me a little prop box with some Hoyas, peperomias, lots of fun stuff going on. And yeah, I finally moved them to a pot, and they're really, really cute. I love them. She started these from leaf propagations, and this is a little burgundy ripple that I grew from a leaf and potted up in here with it, because why not, right? Really cute. So here we have Begonia Pink Flamingo. This is another one that has suffered powdery mildew time and time again, and then I discovered scale on her. She was actually the first begonia that I noticed the scale on, and she lost a ton of leaves, y'all, like a ton, but I managed to get rid of the scale, and now she's growing back really lovely. This is a beautiful, beautiful cane angel wing type begonia. It's definitely one of my favorite angel wings that I have, for sure. I think I even like this more than I do Maculata Whitey. The polka dots are so cute. They're so prominent and big, and I just love her. Here's a new really adorable little leaf coming in. It's just the cutest thing ever. She used to be a lot fuller last summer. She was in bloom constantly and just so gorgeous, so it just makes me sad to see her not the happiest. Here we have one of my favorite begonias as well. This is Begonia Looking Glass. Let me just turn her around so you guys can see how large some of these leaves are. Like, it's kind of incredible. Look at this. The leaves get so massive. It's impressive. It's really impressive. Now, I love how compact this begonia is. So the leaves can get really, really large, but I love how they stay so close together. It's very bushy and full. The leaves are this gorgeous silver color, and then we have like this dark gray, almost black veination coming out from the middle of the leaf. It's just so beautiful. And then, if it's as if that isn't, awesome enough, She also has these red backsides, which we definitely love when it comes to begonias. The new leaves are so cute, y'all. I can't even deal. I love this plant so much. Now, she has never bloomed for me. I've only had her a few months, but she's never bloomed for me. So I'm just kind of really hoping that maybe, you know, this spring we'll get to see some blooms on this girl. But such a gorgeous begonia. Look at this. Let's just appreciate this plant for a moment. Look at these leaves, guys. Oh my goodness. So this gorgeous begonia is Begonia YTO. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I want to say Yo, Begonia Yo, because it has yellow flowers. That could be completely false. I have no idea, but it's YTO, and it is amazing. Amazing. There's so many different things going on with this begonia. These leaves are a very beautiful like plum color, and then you have that gorgeous lime green shooting out of the middle of the leaf, and then also lime green little speckles around the leaf. It's just so beautiful. It has like a swirly leaf. Like look at this one. It goes in a swirl. Isn't that the coolest thing ever? Look at that. I love a plant that offers so many different colors. So freaking pretty, guys. Love her so much. This little guy is just a parallel peperomia. Not doing the best. There was more to him, but it's died. Unfortunately, it just died. This plant has not put off a single new leaf since I got it. I really like this peperomia. I love the leaves. I think it's really cool looking. And I've never really struggled with a peperomia the way that I've struggled with this one. So I don't know. Maybe it will eventually get it together and start growing and doing better. But for now, it's just remain stagnant. It doesn't do anything at all. Okay guys, that is it for this plant stand. Hopefully this video isn't an hour long. My plant tours tend to be really long. I haven't done a plant tour in a really long time, so I'm just excited to show you guys all of the plants that we don't get to see that often. Show some appreciation to them because I definitely love them all. Okay guys, I completely forgot to do an actual outro to this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon in my next video. I love you all to pieces. Bye guys.